Hello students, glad to be back with you again. Today we will be discussing about Indian national movement which we have started in the previous session. Okay, this is a continuation of your chapter 3, that is Indian national movement. So last session we have discussed till this Swadeshi. Okay, so today we will start with this boycott, or we will just try to recap it again. Okay, so let's start with this Swadeshi and boycott movement, which is in your page 61. Okay, Swadeshi and boycott movement. So now what happened was, we have discussed that the moderates, okay, the Congress came to be divided into moderates and extremists, and now they came to realize, that is the Indians, they came to realize that if they want to get their independence, they have to fight for it. And so now they also decided to go for this movement which came to be called as Swadeshi. Okay, Swadeshi means using one's own goods. Okay, using one's own goods. What it meant here is the government, okay, the Indian people, they want the Indians to manufacture their goods by themselves, or in other words, they want the Indians to use only Indian goods. Okay, so that is what we meant by Swadeshi. Then talking about boycott, what they also did was they started boycotting foreigners' goods, and in this period many foreigners' goods were also destroyed. Okay, they went and they picketed those shops which were selling foreigners' goods and so on. So all these were being done in order to revive back the Indian cottage industry, because by that time, okay, because of the British government, the Indian cottage industries were completely destroyed. So now the Congress, they want to revive it back. And so during that time, many, they call it as Swadeshi industries. Okay, many Indian cottage industries also came up. Small industries like textile or manufacturing soap, okay, or even to do with the stationeries, pencils and so on. So all these came up during the time of this movement, that is Swadeshi. Okay, then apart from these goods also, even to do with arts or this thing, drama, and there also, okay, there was Swadeshi movement. Many people, Indian leaders, educated people, they started composing patriotic songs also. Okay, then even to do with this Bande Mataram. Okay, what they did was they used this as a patriotic song, and whenever they are angry with the British, just to show their resentment, they used to sing this song. Okay, and so later on what the Britishers did was they even stopped the Indians. Okay, they stopped the Indians from saying that word also, that is Bande Mataram. Okay, so all these were done during that Swadeshi and boycott movement. Okay, now during the beginning of the 20th century, okay, a new group came up. New group in the sense, in your textbook it is written as the revolutionary movement. Revolutionaries means those people who are fighting against the government. Okay, they are called as revolutionaries. And in India also, many Indians, they joined these revolutionaries, because by now they were suffering so much, okay, under the control of the British. So now what they wanted was, they just want the Indians to get their freedom, or they just want the Britishers to go away from India. And that is why they started all this revolutionary movement. Okay, and what they did was they started assassinating the British officials, okay, policemen and so on. And among this revolutionary, there is one party which is called as this Khadar party. Okay, and this is just a group of revolutionary. Now this Khadar party, the importance is, this Khadar party, it was not formed in India. Okay, it was not formed in India, but it was formed by we call them as NRI. Okay, NRI means those Indians who are not living in India. They are Indians, but they are not staying in India and staying abroad. So those kind of people are called as NRI. That means non-residents of India. Okay, so this Khadar party, it was formed by this NRI. So these people, what they did was they collected fund. Okay, they got lots of fund from those countries who were enemies of the Britishers, or those countries who do not want the Britishers to be ruling over India. So those countries, they gave lots of funds to this Khadar party, and this Khadar party, using those funds, they bought guns and ammunition, and they used to smuggle it into India. Okay, they used to smuggle it into India. Smuggling means bringing something illegal. Okay, not the right way, but illegally. So that is called as smuggling. So all these were being done by the Khadar party, and this Khadar party, it was also a revolutionary party. Okay, so all these were done by the people because now they are fed up with the British government. Okay, now next point is to do with, in your textbook, the topic is formation of the Muslim League, how the Muslim League came into being. Now in the beginning, okay, we have discussed in the last session that the Britishers, they used to practice divide and rule policy. Okay, divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy means division of the Hindus and the Muslims, because the Britishers, they knew that if the Hindus and the Muslims, they come together, they will be able to defeat the British. So the Britishers, they want to make sure that the Hindus and the Muslims, they don't come together, and so they used to practice this divide and rule policy. Okay, then we have also discussed in the last session regarding the attitude of the Britishers. The Britishers, in the beginning, they were very friendly towards the Congress, but at the later part, they became very hostile because the Congress, they started demanding for more and more reforms. And so now what happened was, the Britishers, they were turning towards the Muslims again. Okay, they were favoring the Muslims again, partial towards the Muslims. And because of this, the Muslim leaders, okay, the Muslim leaders, they also decided to take advantage of it. They decided to take advantage, and thus Muslim League was formed on 30th December, okay, 1906. So on 30th December 1906, the Muslim League was formed. Now the aims, okay, the aims or the reason why the Muslims, they formed this Muslim League was because, okay, in your textbook we have the aims and objective. That is, number one is to promote, okay, to promote among the Muslims feelings of loyalty towards the British. Since the Britishers were favoring them, they want to take advantage. So the Muslims now, they want to make sure that all the Muslims are loyal. Okay, they are loyal to the Britishers. Then another one will be another aim is they want to protect. That is, the Muslim League was formed in order to protect the Muslims, in order to protect the rights of the Muslims. Okay. Then the third reason is to prevent the rise among the Muslims of India any feelings of hostility towards other community. So these are the reasons why the Muslim League was formed. So now, as you are aware, because of the British policy of divide and rule, now India is again divided into Hindus and Muslims. So that was the situation during the time. Okay, but now there entered someone whom we all know. Okay, we call him as the father of India, that is Gandhiji. So Mahatma Gandhi, he entered the political scene. Gandhiji, he was a lawyer. Okay, he was a lawyer. He studied law in England. Then after his studies, he went to Africa, okay, to practice there, and there he saw the discrimination. Okay, the discrimination means how much the Indians were suffering under the African government. Okay, under the South African government in South Africa. So this made him realize that he needs to do something. So what he did was, in 1915, okay, in 1915, Gandhiji returned back to India. He came back to India, and when he came back to India, he decided to start something, a new policy, which we call it as Satyagraha. Okay, Satyagraha. And this policy became very, very important. Now, satyagraha means non-violence, okay? Non-violence, then fighting for the truth. The reason, okay? The reason why Gandhiji started this satyagraha was because he knew that physically, okay? Physically, the Indians, they will never be able to defeat the British, because by the time the Britishers, they were considered as the strongest country in the world. So Gandhiji knew that physically the Indians, they will never be able to defeat the British. And that is the reason why he started this satyagraha policy. So satyagraha means non-violence, okay? So he introduced this. Then the first satyagraha that he practiced or he introduced in India was in 1917. We call it as the Champaran Satyagraha, okay, where he helped the villagers, the planters to fight for their rights, okay, not by fighting physically with the British, but by not obeying, okay, by not obeying the Britishers. So this was introduced by Gandhiji. Then Gandhiji, another thing is, he is also very famous, okay, he is very famous for his great achievement in, we call it as the untouchability or untouchable, because during the time the Indian society was divided into caste system, okay, and the lowest was called as the untouchables. Untouchables means we are talking about those people who used to do all the manual works, okay, all the manual works or dirty works by themselves. And what happened was they were called as untouchables by the upper classes, because untouchable means not fit to be touched, okay, something very dirty. So this was name was given to them by the upper classes. And these people, these untouchables, they led a very miserable life, okay. They were not allowed to live in the village. They have to live outside the village. Then they cannot send their children to the school, nor take water from the village well, nor go to the temples and so on. So these people, they were treated in a very miserable way. So what happened was Gandhiji, okay, Gandhiji, he said the word untouchable is not good. So what he did was he gave them a new name. Okay, he even gave them a new name which came to be called as the Harijans. Okay, so Gandhiji, instead of calling them untouchables, he used to call them as Harijans. Then he also, what he did was he even went and lived with them. Okay, he went and stayed with this untouchable people, that is the Harijans. So this is one major reason why when Gandhiji entered the political scene, okay, the movement, that is the Indian national movement, it became a mass movement, because since he loves the poor people, he works for them. When he entered the Indian political scene, all the common people, they also started obeying him, following him, okay, and that is why the national movement became a mass movement because of Gandhiji. Then another contribution of Gandhiji is, we call it as the introduction of charkha, okay. Charkha means we are talking about spinning wheel. Spinning wheel, not just spinning a wheel, okay, but here we are talking about the Indians weaving, okay, weaving their own clothes. So this also was one of the greatest contribution of Gandhiji, because he made the people, okay, he asked the Indians, all the Indians to go for their, like to weave their own clothes. We call it as the indigenous Swadeshi also. So all these were contribution of Gandhiji, okay. So now he had entered the Indian political scene. And now what happened was in 1920, okay, in 1920, the Congress, they decided to go for a new movement, a movement that is against the British government. And that movement is called as the non-cooperation movement, okay, non-cooperation movement. And this was introduced in 1930, okay. Now what they did was, in this non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji, he told the Indians not to cooperate with the British government, okay, not to cooperate with them, not to fight, but not to cooperate with the British government. And in not cooperating with the British government, what the Indian peoples did was, okay, many of them, That is, they boycotted foreign goods. Okay, they stopped using foreigners' goods, and this was because this greatly affected the British economy. It greatly affected the British economy. So the Indians, they think that if they affect the British economy, then the Britishers will go away from India. Okay, so they started boycotting foreigners' goods. Then many of them, what they did was they even surrendered their titles. Okay, here when I say title, we are talking about those days the Indian was under the control of the British, and when we say title, we know that the Britishers, okay, they use lots of title in the sense we are talking about king, queen, prince, princess, okay, lord, lady. Those are what we meant by title. Okay, so during the time what happened was many of the Indians were also given the title. They were knighted by the Britishers. So during this non-cooperation movement, again, many of them, they surrendered back their title, okay, just to show their grievances, just to show the Britishers that they are not happy with them. Okay, so they were surrendering of titles also. Then many of them, they even left their jobs, okay, the government jobs. Then those lawyers who were working in the court, British court, they also left their job. Then those students who were studying in the government schools, okay, they also did not go to school. So all these were just to show the British government that the Indians are angry with them. Okay, so all these events happened during the non-cooperation movement. Okay, now in this non-cooperation movement, it started in 1920 and it ended in 1922. Now, why it ended, okay, or why Gandhiji called off the non-cooperation movement was in 1922 there was an incident. Okay, an incident occurred at Chauri Chaura. Chauri Chaura, that is a name of a place in UP. Okay, so here what happened was the non-cooperation movement was going on everywhere. People were agitating against the British, and at this particular place, that is village Chauri Chaura, what happened was the villagers, okay, the villagers, they have gone and they have surrounded the police station. They surrounded the police station and they set fire to the police station. And in this event, 22 policemen were burned to death. Okay, 22 policemen, they were staying inside the police station and they were burned to death. So because of this incident, Gandhiji, he decided to call off the non-cooperation movement because this was something against his ideology. He practiced satyagraha. So satyagraha means non-violence, and here people are being killed. So because of that, he called off the non-cooperation movement. Okay, then after this non-cooperation movement, the Congress, they started this civil disobedience movement. Okay, now this civil disobedience movement, this is to do with the imposition of tax on salt. Okay, the Britishers, they had imposed tax on salt, and so Gandhiji and the Congress, they started this civil disobedience movement in 1930, and he started these with, we call it as his Dandi March. Okay, the famous Dandi March. Dandi, again, this is a name of a village on the seashore of Gujarat. Okay, so what Gandhiji did was, from his ashram, he started walking, and on his way, the villagers, they used to join him. Okay, in the beginning, he started with only 78 people, but once he reached Dandi, he found out that there were thousands and thousands of people following him. And once he reached Dandi, Gandhiji, he himself, he went and manufactured salt. Okay, he decided to produce salt. This was to defy the salt law. Okay, so this was done during the civil disobedience movement. Then another thing is, when this civil disobedience movement was going on, the British government, they decided to go for this first round table conference, but the Indians, that is the Congress, they refused to attend. So what the Viceroy did was, he signed a treaty with Gandhiji, which is called as Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Okay, and in this pact, what they did was, Gandhiji decided to call off the non-cooperation movement, and he said that he will attend the round table conference. And on the other side, okay, the British government also, they decided that they will free all those Indian leaders whom they have imprisoned during the movement. So this is how Gandhiji decided to go and attend the first round table conference. I hope you have understood that far. Okay, thank you for tuning in and stay safe.